At forward, Ken Cunningham. Midfield, Miguel Aguila. Forward, Sam Gainford. Midfield, Fatia Alashi. And defender, Dennis Castillo. The Portland Timbers head coach, Jim Relat. And your starting lineup for the Puget Sound Gunners. In goal, Spencer Ritchie. Justice Durkison. Bryson Pavel. Matthew Ironovo. Michael A. Zachary Hammond. Josh Hurd. Flo Blanchard. Ash Apollon. Brady Below. And Mason Robertson. The Puget Sound Gunners, coached by head coach Jimmy Ball, assisted by Alex Silva and Emerson de Oliveira. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would kindly stand for the playing of the national anthem.
As soon as it's done, we'll get going.
I'm already going. We already have 4 viewers.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard the inaugural broadcast of the Puget Sound Gunners. We're honored to be here with you this afternoon. We're at Mount Si High School in Snoqualmie, east of Seattle and Bellevue. We're here just for the one game this afternoon, but this Gunners Club, now based in Issaquah and affiliated with Issaquah FC and the Issaquah Gunners in the Washington Premier League. Hello, everybody. I'm Nathan Murphy, and it's an honor to be with you. We are here at Mount Si High School, and it's a new start for the Puget Sound Gunners, of course, until last year known as the North Sound Sea Wolves, but the club has moved over onto the east side. Some new faces and some familiar ones for fans of the old Sea Wolves. The new head coach, Jimmy Ball, a very experienced man. He's been affiliated with Issaquah FC for the last few years, has experience playing and coaching in the English Premier League, and has been over here for quite some time now. He's the head coach of the Gunners, and he'll lead a squad that has some new faces and some more familiar ones returning from last year. Names like Matt Aronimo, Justice Dirksen, and Zach Hammond, as well as Brady Ballou and Josh Hurd, but some new faces starting with the goalkeeper, Spencer Ritchie. A very important player for this club, the University of Washington graduate, hurt much of the 2013 collegiate season, but looks to lead the Gunners in goal. The opponent today, the Portland Timbers under-23s, of course, the MLS connection. Lots of bad blood, you might say, between Seattle fans and those of the Timbers. And certainly that's a factor for a lot of the Seattle-based players for the Gunners here today, but not just a domestic side. A couple of men from England in the side for Jimmy Ball. The referee today is Chipolo Street, Jason Hutchinson, Dan Compton, the assistants, Philippe Dorr is the fourth official, and we're underway. Welcome to the 2014 Premier Development League season for the Puget Sound Gunners. Early in possession, this is Dodds, the defender. Tries to play a long ball up on the right side and wins a throw-in for his club. Just underway here at Mount Si High School. The Puget Sound Gunners in bright blue with white numbers and trim. The Portland Timbers in their Rose City kits, the red and the black with white numbers. Portland with the ball at the back. Seymour with it. Now plays it into the middle, looking send it across is Holness. Settled down there on the left side in the midfield, and Portland content to play it back. Jimmy Ball, we spoke before the game. When I asked him what style of play the Gunners were looking for, he thought for a long moment about it, and then two words, simple and effective. I asked him if he meant possession, and he said that was exactly right. So maybe a little bit different than the Seawolves last year, who tried to play open and loose under their then head coach, but Mr. Ball brings a different perspective to things, of course. Portland settles at the back. A little bit of catch between Seymour and his partner at the back. They try to play it into the middle, and a nice little through ball for Aguilar. But he has it taken away, and moving ahead with it is Hurd. Josh Hurd turns it back to his own defense. Bryson Pavel with it. Little flick on ahead and a nice ball onto the outside. This is Brady Ballou. Ballou stepping ahead on the left wing. Slips a through ball there. Nicely done. This is Robertson. But it's gobbled up there by Moore, and nothing comes of the attack. Nice little motion there, though, from the Gunners in the early going. Just 2 minutes in here at Mount Si. Opening match of the Premier Development League season for both sides. The Timbers did play a match earlier in the week in the U.S. Open Cup where they fell to a USL Pro side from Arizona. So they are out of that competition. The Gunners, of course, did not qualify. But they will attempt to do so this year. That's, of course, the big prize in the Premier Development League. For those of you not as familiar, the PDL is a part of the United Soccer Leagues, the long-time lower pro and upper amateur organizing body here in the United States. They have several leagues, including this one. The focus of the PDL largely on development, as the name implies. A lot of these guys are collegians, kind of similar to the Summer League Baseball a lot of you will see. In the middle with it is Hurd. Nicely tackled, and Hurd comes in now and commits the first foul of the game, says Chipolo Street, so it'll be a free kick for the Timbers just inside the Puget Sound half. Taken quickly and bounced around a little bit, falls to the feet of Hamer. The former Seawolf hands it back for his teammate Castillo. Now turning with it is Alache. And back for Aguilar, tries to switch the field and does so. Looking up on the left side now. Cutting back into the middle with it is Holness. And tries to send it to the outside, but it's taken away there, and the Gunners will try and counter. Sprinting up that right side is Ash Apollon, and he wins the ball. Stepping into the middle, tries to cut it back, but unluckily loses it. And it's gathered by Brendan Moore. Just under 4 minutes gone by. No score here in the early going at Mount Si, and another foul given against the Gunners as the ball flies up into the stands on the far side. Nathan Murphy here. We're glad to have you with us. Thanks for being with us on this beautiful afternoon. If you're in the neighborhood, come on by. It's gorgeous down here. The rain has stayed away for the time being, and it's a beautiful, kind of cloudy but comfortable afternoon here at Mount Si. Ball is settled by Fitai Alache. The Timbers very content in the early going to hold possession in the midfield, in the defensive portion of the midfield. They're playing a formation that kind of looks like two central defenders at the back and then four across the midfield. Throw in now for the Timbers. Looking for a man but can't find it. Drops it back into the middle. Very careful on the ball is Portland in the early going. Long ball now, just as I say they're going to play the possession, and it's handled by the left midfielder. and then headed clear by the Gunners defender.
That's perfect.
Chasing it down was Apollon, but he can't win the ball, and Portland again in possession in the midfield. This seems to be the story of the first 5 minutes. Nice little run on the left side now for the Timbers. Couple of options in the box. The cross comes in, but it's played out for a corner by Michael Dodds. Careful defending there, confident defending, but he does concede the corner kick. First corner of the match. He's got a short option, and now that's closed down by Blanchard. And a short ball toward the near post, curving in and headed away by the Gunners defenders, but not all the way. Nice job there. This is Blanchard to not only win the ball, but to win a free kick. And hang on there, says Chapalo Street to the Portland midfielder trying to get in on the free kick. And the Gunners will play it square and start up the left side. Pavel, nice little run, but he can't keep possession, taken away by Hamer, his former teammate. And now Portland will push forward. This is Aguilar. Taken away, though. Nicely done, and a nice little shoving match here between Robertson and Aguilar, and they end up with a through ball. And the clearance goes right to the feet of Hamer. Zach Hamer trying to work to the right side. At the corner of the 18, Hamer, little tug on the shirt, no whistle. Has a chance to cross, but it deflects off the defender, Aronimo, and it goes out. What says the assistant referee? This is a corner kick. 7 minutes gone by at Mount Si High School. No score between the Puget Sound Gunners and the Portland Timbers under-23s. We're very glad you're with us. Nathan Murphy on the broadcast here today. Standing over the corner is Sam Gainford. I'm sorry, he's the short man. We've got some poles in our way down there. The corner is taken low and out toward the far corner of the 18. Chasing it down is Alache. And he will let it roll all the way out after it took a touch off of a Gunners defender, and he'll take the throw in. Looking for something to do with it is Alache. And now he'll hand it off. We're in the 8th minute here, no score. Portland with an attacking throw-in about 25 yards from goal. It's sent into the box but headed away, but it falls right to the feet of Alache. Tries to keep possession, but it's taken away nicely, and the Seawolves have a chance to break. Up on the right side with it is Apollon. Ash Apollon has it taken away well from behind, and it'll fall to the feet of Brendan Moore, who scoops it up. Where the Gunners' chances have come so far, they've come on the counter. Portland has done a nice job of keeping possession and maybe frustrating the Gunners just a little bit as the ball bounces all the way out for a Gunners throw-in deep in their own end. We've got a pretty good crowd here for the first match. About 50 people in the stands here at Mount Si. They're making a little bit of noise. It's a beautiful setting out here with the forest across the way and the mountains off in the distance. Just a great place for a soccer match this afternoon. If you get a chance, come on down and join us. Tickets are only $10 for all of the Gunners home games this year. And it's really a great level of soccer to watch. The throw-in ends up with a Portland possession once again, and they will hand it back to Moore and start again on the right side. With it is Castillo. Cuts it back again into the middle. The Gunners haven't shown a lot of interest in pressing these defenders as they play with the ball, and now as I say that, they do push a little bit. Sending a ball long now. He's got a man running. I can't see a number. This is Cunningham, but it did go out across the touchline, and the throw-in belongs to Puget Sound. A little bit of jostling going on down here between Josh Hurd and his former, I'm sorry, that's the defender, Dennis Castillo. Ritchie handles that one easily. That's his first touch. But the Gunners give it right away again, and in the middle is Cunningham. Had a chance to turn and shoot, didn't use it. And now he's got Castillo, the defender, running up. Tries to get a cross off, and it's defended away. And it will go out for a Portland throw-in. We're in the 10th minute here. A few distant chances for both sides, but nothing particularly threatening in the first 10 minutes. Throw-in is taken for Hamer. Zach, of course, the former North Sound Seawolf, familiar with these guys, the Gonzaga product. A familiar face for folks who followed the club back in Edmonds last year. Spencer Ritchie will send this one away. He's looking for Ballou up on the left side, but it doesn't get far enough to him, and Hamer will settle it. Back for Castillo. And back once again for Seymour. All the way back to the goalkeeper now. Portland still playing a very careful, possessive game. Hasn't given Puget Sound a whole lot of chance to put together some possession of their own. Overlapping run on the left side, but not much to go with it. Cutting it back, and now we'll give it back to Alache. Fitai Alache. Back into the middle for Holness. He's got a man, Castillo, on the overlap, but can't get it to him. And he looks for Hamer, can't get it to him either. And now they'll send it all the way back. Seymour handles it. Back for Alache. Turnover. This is Blanchard. Gives it up for Apollon, trying to make a run around. Nicely done. Gets a shot off, but it's blocked down by Seymour, and a goal kick, says referee Chapalo Street. We're in the 12th minute here. Pretty quiet thus far. Not a lot of real attacking thrusts from either side, but certainly the bulk of the possession has belonged to the Timbers. Goal kick skips all the way through where it's handled by Dodds, and possession skitters around a little bit. Chasing it down is Josh Hurd, but he can't control it, and it's out for a throw-in again for the Timbers. Nathan Murphy here. We're at Mount Si High School. It's the only game here for the Gunners all season. The rest of the home games, the other 6, will be up the road at Issaquah High School. Check out PugetSoundGunnersFC.com for schedule and ticket information. We'd love to have you join us. Making a stab through now is Aguilar, and it looked like his shot took a deflection, but the officials disagree with me, and it will be a goal kick for the Gunners. A lot of changes for this franchise over the summer. Obviously, the move down from the North Sound in Snohomish County and Edmonds to the east side, Issaquah and Snoqualmie and Sammamish, that area. New head coach in Jimmy Ball with his Premier League experience and the Issaquah ties. He's lived here in Issaquah for quite some time. But Alex Silva, the owner, the assistant coach, still very much involved. This is definitely his baby, and when I had a chance to talk to him this afternoon, he expressed some very high hopes for the season, not just with the community tie-ins, but also hoping to qualify for the playoffs, or even more importantly, qualify for the U.S. Open Cup next year. Struggle for possession there on the left side of the Portland attack, and it's eventually settled by Aguilar and played back. Portland certainly in no hurry to go forward when they don't see an opening. They'll take their time. Castillo is the man on the right side. He'll get it. Looks for Hamer, but that option is blocked off. Sends it into the middle for Cunningham. Kenny Cunningham goes up high to win it, and it falls to Castillo again. Watched there by Brady Ballou. And they'll drop all the way back again for Seymour and across. Very deliberate, the Timbers. This is kind of the style of game that I was expecting to see from the Gunners after talking to head coach Jimmy Ball, but they haven't had a whole lot of time in possession with which to do it. Castillo on the right, the defender willing to push forward, or at least the defensive midfielder. And now the drop back for Alache, and all the way back once again. It's going to be interesting to see as Portland continues this style of play, whether Puget Sound can keep their composure. That style of play is kind of designed to open, I guess, focus holes in the defense of a club. And that's certainly what Portland and head coach Jim Rylat are hoping to do. And it's going to take very disciplined defending from the Gunners to keep the door closed and hope to find something on the counter. Ash Apollon plays it back to his defense into the middle and looking for Ballou on the left side, but an errant ball turns it back over to Castillo. In the middle is Alache, back to Castillo on the right. Alache once again. Right through the referee Chapalo Street, who avoided it agilely, and it's handled on the right side of the Portland attack now by Holness. Or is that Rose? I apologize. That is Matt Rose. Now all the way back again, stepping through, avoiding the tackle of Blanchard. And another stab forward now. This is Miguel Aguilar. Looking onto the left side now. Chasing the ball down is Sam Gainford. Will he keep it in? He will not, says the assistant referee, and it will be a throw in. Dan Compton, the assistant over on the far side. We mentioned Jason Hutchinson, the senior assistant to referee Chapalo Street. A fourth official here today, Philippe Dorr. It's a little unusual. We didn't see one in any of the home games last year, but certainly not something that we mind seeing. Hopefully we'll get a little more information about time added on than we did last year. Fourth official responsible for a number of things, including assisting with substitutions and helping to control the bench areas so the referee can focus on the 22 men on the field. But for a broadcaster, by far the most important function of the fourth official is to hold up that nice shiny board at the end of the half and let us know. We don't know if that's something they'll do today, but one can hope. Lashed forward and headed out of play by Pavel, and the throw-in will be to the Timbers. 17th minute here. No score, not a whole lot of threat thus far, but a lot more possession for the Timbers. Stepping through is Hamer. Play on, says Chapalo Street. He'll play the advantage. Hamer kicks it out for Aguilar. Stepping back into the middle. Had a chance to shoot and didn't take it. Now onto the outside for Guilford. He will shoot, and it's blocked down nicely by Dodds. And it skips onto the back again. Alashe tries to touch it through for Hamer. The Gunners thought he was offside, but the ball bounced back out. If the flag was up, we didn't see it. It's tough for us to see the assistant referee down there on the near side from our position. But in any case, we play on, and Portland in possession at the back once again. A familiar theme in the first 20 minutes of this one. Puget Sound Gunners FC soccer, is presented by Swedish of Issaquah. We appreciate their support, our presenting sponsors for this season. It's also sponsored by Proliance Surgeons and Proliance Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, and by My Spine Sports Chiropractic. We appreciate the support of all of our sponsors here today. Thank you for making these broadcasts possible, and we hope you're enjoying them at home. Thanks for being with us. This is Nathan Murphy from Mount Si High School, and we've got a quick run on, and it was trying to touch around the goalkeeper Moore, and Moore made a brilliant play to take the ball away from Josh Hurd, probably the best scoring chance for either team thus far, and Moore will lash it away. That was a beautiful through run by Hurd, and a perfect touch through to him. He tried to just a little flick around the goalkeeper Moore. It didn't quite work for him. Now attacking again. This is a Paulon. Has Hurd on the outside. Cuts it back to the middle instead. Absorbs a little contact, and the ball bounces outside for Hurd. He will keep it in play just on the edge of the 18 and the goal line. His cross is blocked, and it'll be a throw-in now. A little bit of pressure finally sustained by the Gunners here in the 20th minute of the match. The throw-in is headed out of play by Will Seymour, and it'll be the first corner of the match for Puget Sound. As I said, just shy of 20 minutes gone by here in Sammamish, Washington, Mount Si High School Stadium, a gorgeous setting for this opening match for these two clubs. A little cloudy, but plenty of sunlight. Not a whole lot of glare. The trees and the mountains in the background. The corner is taken, and it falls to the feet of Apollon. And now a shot is blasted by Blanchard, but it skips off of 2 or 3 people. Another shot taken, and it'll go over the bar. This one, trying to see who that was. The kits of the Gunners don't have the numbers on the front of the jersey, so when they're moving toward us, we can't tell you who they are until they turn around. And this is Brady Ballou. A nice shot from about 20 yards, 25 yards away. Just a little bit too high. It's always tough to keep those down, keep your body over them. But it will be a throw-in now for the Gunners on the left side in their own end. Headed out of play down field by Seymour, and it'll be another Gunners throw-in, this time about 10 yards the other side of the halfway line. Pavel looking for an option. Gives for Blanchard, and it bounced off of a couple Timbers, and now Portland will push back ahead. With it is Aguilar. Castillo tries to send it long, but it's well defended by a couple of Seawolves, and they'll try and settle it down, but a little bit of a miscue between Brady Ballou and Bryson Pavel. So they'll surrender a throw-in deep in their own end. Trying to step through is Aguilar. A shot just misses the outside of the cage. And a goal kick. That was a beautiful strike that only missed by a yard or two. But it appeared from here that Spencer Ritchie had his post covered. No actual danger there. Past 25 minutes gone by. Check that. Past 20 minutes gone by. 25 minutes remaining. The stadium clock is counting down here in the high school style. And a turnover now has a chance. Slashed over the bar, and very, very lucky for the Gunners as Kenny Cunningham struck that just over the soccer crossbar off of the football crossbar, and it bounced back on the net. I think some of the fans thought that had found its way in. But no such luck for Portland, and we remain scoreless in the 21st minute. Castillo tries to keep it in play and does so, but turns it over for Robertson. Trying to win it back is Alache, and it goes out for a throw-in for Portland. Taking his time with it is Castillo. Looking for Cunningham, but it's defended away, and now Hurd will take it. Tries to step around, drops it back for Ballou, flicks it on for Hurd, and it takes a touch off of Seymour, and it'll be a Gunners throw-in. Right back to Hurd, but turns it over to Alache. Nice tackle there by Bryson Pavel to win the ball momentarily, but it goes back out of play, and Portland will take the throw-in. Bouncing around in the middle of the park now. Pavel sends it forward. A touch by Alache, gives it back for Ballou. Brady Ballou trying to work on the left side. Couple of Portland defenders harass him there and take it away. Zach Hamer comes up with the ball and sends it into the middle. Portland a chance to break now. Some room on the left side. Instead, they'll go up the middle looking for Aguilar, and it'll be taken away. Robertson tries to play it through. As he's falling down, Robertson kind of shoved it back, looking for Hurd, but couldn't make the connection. And Portland will settle again. Halfway point here in the first half. No score at Mount Si High School between the Puget Sound Gunners and the Portland Timbers under-23s. First PDL match of the year for both sides. As the little through ball looking for Hamer ends up for a throw-in for the Timbers. Castillo will pick it up. Hamer tries to flick it back to him, but it's well defended by Pavel. And a low clearance, but it finds its way through. And coming through on this one was Robertson, and I think he's going to go into the book. Indeed, he will. So Mason Robertson, a caution in the 24th minute for that kind of a crunching challenge on Fitai Alache. Certainly deserved a yellow card, and Alache caught those studs on his exposed foot as he was trying to play the ball, it looked like. Pretty easy decision there for Chapalo Street, and the first booking of the year for the Gunners. Looks like he'll be able to stand up and continue, and we'll take this chance to remind everybody that USLPDL.com is the home of the Premier Development League and the United Soccer Leagues. Visit that address, USLPDL.com, for scores, statistics, news, and more, all exclusively on USLPDL.com. Badly, and looks like he's going to be all right. Alache wearing the captain's armband for the Timbers today. Michigan State product from Northville, Michigan. And I think he'll be a senior there. Standing over it is Rose and sends it in. Taking a spill was Bryson Pavel, but he hops right back up, and the ball will be cleared away by Michael Dodds. Throw into the Timbers once again. Portland has had the vast majority of the possession here as we approach the end of the 25th minute. We don't have the full statistics available to the MLS broadcast crews, but it would probably be a good 65 or 70% of the possession has belonged to Hurd, who slashed through and took a through ball, tried to touch it around the Portland goalkeeper Moore, and Moore just perfectly made the play to block off the little touch and prevent additional danger. Taking it, handing it back is Aguilar, and it'll come across for Seymour. For Castillo, and back for Seymour again. Portland still very content to settle and look for those little opportunities. Played away nicely by Blanchard. Tries to get it to Apollon, and he's got a chance to turn it for Brady Ballou, but it was just a little behind him, and Portland will take it again. Hamer almost gave it away to Apollon, but got it back. And Alache sends a long, searching ball for Gainford on the left side, but nicely taken away by Puget Sound, and it comes back into the middle for Blanchard. Blanchard has a man running, but a couple of steps offside is Josh Hurd. Pretty easy call there for Dan Compton. Fans, visit the USL Pro and the PDL fan pages on Facebook.com. That's Facebook.com/USL PDL. Make sure and give them a like today. Free kick is easily handled by Aronimo, another former Seawolf on the Gunners roster this year. I think there are 6 of them in total. And the ball went all the way up onto the roof there before coming back down. A little bit of a searching look by Portland head coach Jim Rylat, maybe wanting a caution for delaying the game, but nothing is forthcoming from Chapalo Street. And stepping up will be Alache. Looks all right since the knock he took. That ball is offside, says the assistant referee. Just a little bit ahead of it was Kenny Cunningham. A little bit interesting there for the near side assistant Jason Hutchinson, as it was going to touch on the ball, but it became very evident that Mr. Cunningham, and it falls toward Apollon, kind of a little tug. Nothing there, says Chapalo Street. It looked like there might have been a grip on Apollon's arm as he tried to get around and get his foot on that one at the top of the 18, but nothing doing, says the referee. And Brendan Moore will play it. Under 20 minutes remaining in the half. We're in the 28th minute here at Mount Si. Still no score. Very careful from both teams, particularly from Portland. And a nice little run for Apollon here. Nicely touched onto him by Ballou. Is there a foul there? No, says the referee, and the throw-in will favor the Gunners. Deep in Portland territory, about 6-7 yards off the goal line. Taken quickly is the throw-in, and it's turned over, but the Gunners will get it back, and chipping it into the middle, is Zach Hammond. But it's turned over to Portland again. They try and cut it back to the center. A little bit sloppy from both teams here, but pushing ahead is Alache. Has Hamer on the right side. Hamer just outside the 18, cuts it back. Looking to shoot is Aguilar. Catches ahead in the middle, but just over the top with it was Kenny Cunningham. Portland has had a couple of more opportunities here in the last 10 minutes or so, but nothing has resulted in an actual shot on goal. Everything's been wide or over the top. In fact, I don't think either team has been credited with a shot to this point. For Puget Sound, Spencer Ritchie's only had to touch the ball while it's live, not a goal kick, a handful of times. Brendan Moore has been called on to do a little bit more. As we mentioned, he played the angle perfectly to cut off the threatening run of Josh Hurd a little bit earlier on, but nothing came of that. And Portland has a chance to attack again now. Cunningham is being very versatile. He's standing over on the right side now and earns a throw-in, says the assistant referee. Jim Rylat wants the corner kick, but he's not going to get it. And Castillo will come up and take the throw-in. 34th minute of play. The 30th minute of play here at Mount Si High School. Castillo with the high looping cross that goes all the way to the other side of the 18 and eventually falls at the feet of Sam Gainford. Gainford fighting for it, and it looks like he will be adjudged to have committed a foul against Justice Dirksen. Dirksen takes the free kick quickly. Tried to get it up for Ballou, and Ballou's chasing it down, but he's not going to get there, and Portland will settle once again. Seymour switches the field. Portland's got a lot of space on the right if they can get the ball over there, but they didn't get there quickly enough. Puget Sound does a nice job of getting back into their defensive shape. Good communication, it looks like, among the back four of the Gunners so far. That was something that plagued the North Sound Seawolves in the first few matches last season. Stepping through is Cunningham at the corner of the 18. Steps out, tries to find space to cross, and instead it'll be flicked out of play for a Portland throw-in. We are into the 31st minute of play here at Mount Si. Nathan Murphy with you. We're glad you're with us for the inaugural PDL match of the season for both sides. It's an honor to be with you today on youtube.com/Puget Sound Gunners FC. Make sure and give us a look for the next home game as well, coming up in early June. Stepping ahead with this nice cheeky little back heel by Holness. And it falls back to Castillo, and now looking forward is Aguilar. Pulls it up short of the goal line, has a chance to cross with his left foot. Well defended away by Michael Dodds. Justice Dirksen gives a little shove to his man there. Nothing was given by the referee. That was a dangerous spot, but at least it was outside the box. And as the whistle didn't go, the Gunners will most certainly take the goal kick. Fans will take this chance to remind you that Nike is a proud sponsor of the W League, as well as all of the leagues of the United Soccer Leagues. Visit them at Nike Soccer on Twitter for the latest Nike Soccer information. And, of course, all of the teams in the various USL leagues thank them for their support. A through ball here for Apollon. Has a chance to get to it, but it's nicely touched back by Louis Cross so that it can be played by Brendan Moore. Gunners are finding a handful of opportunities on the counter and the through ball here. And you might say it's a little bit of a dangerous game for Portland here as they try and play the possession, as a foul will be whistled against Brady Ballou just shy of the midway stripe. Puget Sound is able to convert one of those through balls or one of those counter opportunities into a goal. It might be a dangerous spot for Portland as offside is Hamer. Portland has done very well in possession, but hasn't done a great job of breaking through the Puget Sound back line. We talk about their communication early on here, and that's a big part of their success to this point, I think, is the fact that the back four and the central midfielders have done a very nice job identifying responsibilities and not really giving anybody a free run. And they've also done a nice job, as we've seen here, with coordinating the offside line and forcing players on the Timbers' attack into making those runs early. It's been effective thus far, despite kind of the lack of possession numbers for the Gunners. Castillo has it. Hands it for Cunningham. Taken away there nicely by Pavel, and he'll manage to get it to Hurd into the center. Now Apollon on the left. Tries to make a run around, gets a little shove in the head, and I don't think the referee would have been able to see that, but he definitely took a forearm in the head or neck area. Did Ash Apollon. Nothing given by Chapalo Street. As I say, I don't think he had a chance to see that, as the players both would have been between him and what happened. Portland's attack is turned away by Dirksen, and Spencer Ritchie will lash it away. Ballou tries to break through on the right. Nothing doing there. Portland takes it back away. We are in the 35th minute of this match, just over 10 minutes remaining in the first. But nothing comes of it in the end, and Portland settles back down. No score still here. Portland's had the better of possession, but you might argue that Puget Sound, has had the better of the scoring chances to this point in the game. We've played just over 35 minutes. Cutting back is Hurd, has a step through, a little shove in the back. And is it a penalty? No, it's just outside the box, says Chapalo Street. It looked from up here as the contact was right on that line, and the man on the spot says that it's not a penalty. It's a free kick just on the edge of the 18. A very dangerous spot here for North Sound, and the Issaquah fans are up on their feet, as it'll be a very dangerous set-piece opportunity for the Gunners.
Go left a little bit. Get the goal in. There you go.
Chapalo Street will step back and set the wall. Brady Ballou standing over the ball now. A long way behind the wall right now is referee Chapalo Street. The Portland player's a little bit oblivious and disbelieving perhaps, but as the ball's just about on the 18, certainly the penalty spot is where the wall ought to be. And now he's put it a little bit past the penalty spot. I can understand why Portland might be a little annoyed about this, but that's where it will be. Ballou standing over it. Lots of red shirts in the box and a handful of blue ones on the left side. Ballou chips it up right into the wall, and it'll skitter out over the goal line for the second corner of the game for the Gunners. A lot of men coming forward now for Puget Sound. Louis Cross gives a little bit of a shove there as the corner comes in just over the top of the head of Robertson. But Puget Sound will settle. Ballou on the ball. Almost lost it, but he manages to reclaim it. Harassed there by Aguilar. And Aguilar wins the ball. That was nice defending. And he'll turn it up the touch line where it will be handled by Matt Aronimo. Robertson looking into the middle for Ballou. A little bit too far for him. Touched through nicely by Robertson. Blanchard couldn't get there. And a shot from distance by Ballou is handled by Brendan Moore. I think that's the first official shot of the game for either side. But Moore was right on it. No real danger. As back to play it is Aronimo. Dangerous spot, but Spencer Ritchie able to lash it away. Apollon touches it. Looking for a through ball, but Hurd was kind of in the wrong spot to chase that one down. Looks back at his teammate as a little bit like, what was that? Well, the further we go on here, still not a whole lot of calm possession necessarily, a lot of clock killing from Puget Sound, but those opportunities on those through balls continue to pile up, and you just get the feeling that if they can find one here in the next 7 minutes, that would be a huge turning point in this match. But you feel some time pressure if you're Puget Sound because that halftime break kind of gives the opponents a chance to reset. We've seen that in the past. And very important to the Gunners here to try and find something in the remaining time in the first 45. Throw into the Gunners, says Chapalo Street. Trying to get it to Apollon as Brady Ballou, but he can't do it. Josh Hurd fighting for it. Portland turns it over. Blanchard tries to play it up for Apollon. Now got a little bit of space, but some defenders in the way. Apollon steps through two men, but the third bests him, and now Apollon gives a little tug to the shirt of Fitail Ashe, and the foul is given by Chapalo Street correctly, in our opinion. And a long ball for Cunningham. Well defended, though. And it'll be settled down by the Gunners. We're into the 40th minute here at Mount Si. No score. Nathan Murphy with you. We're glad to have you along. And we'll take the chance to remind you that PDL is on YouTube this season. YouTube is the league's official video home with live games and feature content, highlight packages, and more. Subscribe for free at USL PDL on their YouTube channel today. And, of course, all of the Puget Sound Gunners home games will be there as well. Find those on the PDL channel or on the Gunners' own channel, which is Puget Sound Gunners FC, which is where you found us today. We appreciate you joining us. Just over 5 minutes remaining here in the 45. Jimmy Ball calling out some tactical information to his players. I think he seems to feel the same way I do, that they've got a window of opportunity here to make an attack, to maybe break through and try and get a goal before Portland has the chance to reset and try and figure out a way to handle the quick counters that the Gunners have been so successful with in the last 15 or 20 minutes. No score here. Approaching the end of the first half. As Aguilar cuts it back, but has it stripped away nicely by Pavel. And fighting for it is Hamer, and Hamer shoulders down Pavel. And it will be a free kick for the Gunners. Firm challenge there from the Gonzaga man, the former Seawolf, Zach Hamer. And Spencer Ritchie will come over here and send it away. 42nd minute now. Approaching the end of the first half. As we said, probably not a lot of stoppage time. A minute, maybe two for the collision that left Vitaly Alashe on the ground and put Mason Robertson in the book. But not a whole lot. Stepping forward is Hurd. Challenged there, but keeps the ball. And he will earn the foul as he got a little bit of a shove from Vitaly Alashe. Puget Sound Gunners FC Soccer on YouTube through the Premier Development League is brought to you by Swedish of Issaquah. We thank them for their support today. We also thank Todd Elvig, our engineer and producer. Teresa Whipple is the executive producer. Couldn't do this without those guys. Of course, Keith Neely will be along as the free kick is taken off the head of Michael Dodds and out of play for a goal kick. Keith Neely will be along to handle the play-by-play duties for the rest of the home games, or at least to handle part of them. I'm not sure exactly how we'll handle that, but Keith will be back. He is busy with his duties with the Sounders this afternoon and unable to join us, but he sends his greetings to everybody out there, and he'll be back next time around. He had a chance to turn there, did Mason Robertson, but he didn't take it, instead settling it, sending it back, and eventually the Gunners concede possession. Stepping through to win the ball is Dodds, and stepping ahead with it now is Ash Apollon. Galloping through, trying to get around his man. A little bit of contact there, but Apollon was trying to go through the defender, and play on, says the referee. Long ball looking for Hamer, and he might have a chance to get there. Physical confrontation between Hamer and Matt Aronimo, and Aronimo comes away with it. The former teammates not afraid to tussle, and all clearing out there. A little bit of a confrontation now between Aronimo and the man who was run into earlier, Vitaly Alashe. Alashe kind of cleared out Aronimo as the ball was coming out of play. And yes, indeed, it will be a free kick as opposed to a throw-in. So that is a foul on Alashe. Now, what have we here? I don't think the referee ever said to wait for the whistle, but certainly that seemed to be his intent. Ash Apollon was making a run, and really upset was Bryson Pavel, who played a pretty nice ball, searching for the big target forward. Wait again, says the referee. We're going to have a little conversation here. No more, he tells Vitaly Alashe. And now we're ready to continue. 45th and final minute of the first half regular time. The free kick not nearly as effective this time, but it falls back to the Gunners. Little flick ahead, looking for someone out on the right. Chasing it down was Dirksen, and he wins a throw-in. Dirksen, the defender, pushing up here as we're in the final minute of the 45. 1 minute of added time, says the fourth official, Philippe Dor. 1 minute. So only 90 seconds or so left here in the first half. A little bit of a grab there, but coming away with the ball was Pavel. He tried to play it through for Hurd, but it was intercepted. And now trying to step ahead is Blanchard, but he can't get there. Back into the middle, Aguilar and Holness. Out onto the left side. Nicely done, stepping around is Gainford. Tries to get a cross in, but it's handled by Pavel, and it'll go far down out of play, and it'll be a corner kick. We've had the 45, just the 1 minute of added time remaining here in the first half. No score. Puget Sound Gunners FC, Portland Timbers under 23s. First PDL match of the year for both sides. As we mentioned, the Timbers did fall in the Open Cup earlier in the week. Backheeled and over the top for another corner kick. Well done by Spencer Ritchie to save the first one. He couldn't handle it cleanly because it surprised him, that little back heel. And then to force the second attempt over the bar. One more corner attempt here for Portland. Presumably, this will be the last action of the half.
I think the Gunners look a little bit more polished this year than they did last.
Corner is long, and the head sends it up in the air. but Cunningham's attempt falls right into the hands of Spencer Ritchie, and the whistle goes to end the first half. We've played 45 minutes here at Mount Si High School Stadium. No score between the Puget Sound Gunners and the Portland Timbers. We'll be right back with halftime analysis. You're watching Puget Sound Gunners FC Soccer on YouTube with the Premier Development League. What's going on? Welcome back to Mount Si High School. Nathan Murphy here. We have no score after 45 minutes between the Puget Sound Gunners FC and the Portland Timbers FC under-23s. An interesting half from a technical standpoint. Todd and I were speaking during the break about the improved polish of this side compared to the North Sound Seawolves out of the gate last year. We talked a lot during the broadcasts last year about the difficulty of getting a club going in this format. A lot of these guys just finishing up their spring practices with their collegiate clubs and only reporting within the last week or so. But a big difference in the club this year, maybe attributable to head coach Jimmy Ball. He's got a ton of experience. I got the chance to hear him talk to his boys before the game a little bit, and he had them all fired up. Let's defend the home field and all of that. Kind of a different feel to the club from what we had in the early going last year, but certainly it's been an entertaining half of soccer. The difference in styles is very interesting. So the Portland Timbers were very content from the first touch to settle the ball into the back and take their time with possession and try and work forward, find space, try and work through. It's the classic, very deliberate kind of Spanish style of play, looking for those openings by probing and stepping back, and hoping that your opponent is going to give you something. And they really never found it, did the Timbers. They had a couple of through balls that were threatening and a couple more that were called back offside, but nothing exceedingly threatening. No shots on goal recorded, according to our tally, and only one for the Gunners. So, but at the same time, the Gunners had kind of the better of the chances. They had the free kick opportunity at the top of the 18 that clearly Jimmy Ball thought of should have been a penalty, but it was given outside the area, and that was struck off the wall and ended up going out for a corner kick and leading to the shot by Ballou that just went over the bar. That was a threatening chance. Another, Josh Hurd has stepped through on a nice through ball and tried to flick it around the goalkeeper Moore, who had come out to defend, and Moore just got a hand on it and pushed it away. Those were probably the two most threatening moments for either side. A couple of shots lashed over the top or wide for Portland. So the Timbers had the better of the possession, but the better of the scoring chances went to the Gunners. No score after 45. We're at Mount Si High School today, the only game of the year at this location. Certainly a beautiful one for a game. We've talked about that. The mountains off to our right. We're kind of already up in the foothills of the Cascades already here. Not a lot asking in terms of scenery in this facility, although certainly Todd and his crew used to Glacier Peak. It's equally lovely up there, maybe even more so, but we are certainly enjoying the setting here this afternoon. The weather is on the cool side, but cold by no means. The rain has stayed away thus far. I know it had been threatened, but we've managed to stay dry through the first 45. And not a whole lot. There are some clouds up there, but there are lots of sun gaps, and it's not looking like rain, hopefully, for the next hour or so. We're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back. Tell you a little bit about some of the Puget Sound Gunners. Thanks for being with us. This is Puget Sound Gunners FC Soccer on YouTube through the Premier Development. Welcome back to Mount Si High School. Nathan Murphy with you here. Scoreless first half in Snoqualmie, Sammamish, between the Puget Sound Gunners and the Portland Timbers under-23s, and we'll take a chance to look at the rosters for both sides, particularly for the Gunners. Some familiar faces, as we've mentioned, some returnees from the Seawolves roster last year. Matt Aronimo out of Concordia, Kentwood High School. Zach Hammond from Lake Washington up in Redmond, Humboldt State product. He's graduated, I believe. Justice Dirksen plays at Seattle University. He'll be a sophomore there. He's got experience with the Chivas USA Academy team. A very experienced player for his age, certainly. Also returning, Brady Ballou from Seattle University. And Josh Hurd plays at the University of Washington and out of Victoria, British Columbia. Josh Hurd in particular, he played 22 games in his sophomore campaign with the UW, 14 starts among them, 5 goals and 5 assists for them. A very important player with a goal and 2 assists in the Huskies' 4-2 win over Seattle University in the NCAA tournament second round. Some other local products. Michael Roberts played right here in Issaquah. It's a hometown crowd game for him, a very exciting moment. He played 13 years and 7 starts for the Seattle University Redhawks this last season. A key assist on the game-winning goal in their first-round victory over Creighton in that same NCAA tournament. Seattle area teams doing very well in that competition, of course. He played at Issaquah High School, Kinko 4A first-team All-League in his senior year. And Spencer Ritchie, also from Seattle. He was a mainstay at goalkeeper for the University of Washington throughout his 4-year career. He has now graduated. Unfortunately, he spent most of last year injured after getting hurt on September 10th. But he will get a medical redshirt year and get to play one more year of college. It seems that he was invited to the MLS Combine, but he hopes to gain a little more experience before putting his name into the pool for America's top soccer league. And looking down at the Portland roster, certainly some names that we recognize. Not in the starting 11 today, but Jose Ribas in the 2 games that Portland and Puget Sound played last year was a thorn in the side of the Seawolves. Scored a couple of times, I believe, in the second match between the two, and very active in the midfield. Look for him to come on here in the second half. Also in the 18, and in fact starting, is former Seawolf and Gonzaga Bulldog Zach Hamer. He and his brother Nick were both on the Seawolves roster last year and were mainstays in the defense for that club. And Zach was the captain for a few of the matches, and so was his brother Nick. And it's nice to see him back out here. Of course, we'd prefer he were in the blue to the red, but we wish him all the best down in Portland. Substitutes for both teams in the Premier Development League, of course, are unrestricted. You cannot return, but as many as 6 substitutes, which is enough to play 6 out of the 7 replacements. That is all of the field players except the goalkeeper. So look for all of these folks to come into the match in the second half. Justin Luthi out of Boston College for Portland. Kyle Fisher from Clemson. Jose Ribas, as we mentioned, he's from Creighton and from Guayaquil, Ecuador. Carlton Belmar from Virginia Commonwealth University. And Evan Hewitt out of San Diego State. For the Seawolves in the 18, the backup goalkeeper is Jason Dodson. He's the University of Portland product. Kevin Cook plays at Seattle University and is from Beaverton, Oregon. From Upper Iowa, Reese Williams, he's from Cambridge in England. Another University of Washington player, a sophomore, Stephen Wright. Eric Urzura is going to be looking for somewhere to play this year. He graduated with his 2-year degree from Peninsula College this season. At Barry University in Florida is Esteban Ochoa. Justin Amundsen was with the Washington Crossfire in this same league last year. And Jeff Rose is a sophomore at Seattle University. He is from Carmichael, California.
What does it mean you can't return?
Players, of course, in all top-level soccer competitions, when they're substituted, are ineligible to re-enter the match. You'll see that at any high-level game, anything above high school. The NCAA has some unique rules there where players who leave the game in the first half can return in the second. Players who leave the game during the second half can return once. But beyond that, certainly here in the USL, which is a higher level U.S. soccer affiliated program, follows slightly modified FIFA laws of the game. Players who are substituted cannot return. And their substitutes are expected to finish the match unless they themselves are removed, presumably if there were an injury or something like that.
Thank you.
Bryson Pavel, we'll take a look at his profile, the left back today for the Gunners. He's from Boise, Idaho, plays his soccer at Seattle Pacific University. His sophomore season this past fall was punctuated with a handful of postseason honors, named to the first team NCAA Division II West region and the All-GNAC first team. He's from Boise High School in Boise, Idaho. where he led the Braves to the 2011 state championship, earned Gatorade Player of the Year honors in Idaho. Certainly a standout for his club then, and has had some effect in the left defense for the Gunners today. Both teams are back out on the field. We'll be ready to resume here shortly, and we'll take one more quick break here. Scoreless through 45. You're watching Puget Sound Gunners Soccer on YouTube through the Premier Development. Welcome back. We're just underway here in the second half. Nathan Murphy with you from Mount Si High School in beautiful Sammamish, Washington. Portland takes the kickoff, moving from our right to left here in the second half. One substitute apiece taken during the halftime break for Portland. They've changed their goalkeepers. Brendan Moore's afternoon is through. Replacing him is Justin Luthi, the Boston College product from Dublin, Ohio. And for the Gunners, Stephen Wright makes his first appearance, the sophomore at the University of Washington. He'll replace Bo Blanchard in the middle of the park. And so his afternoon is finished as well. Physical challenge over on the left side of the Portland attack, and getting a talking to is the recently arrived Stephen Wright. But no caution is given. A physical challenge, but not rising to the level of reckless, says Chapalo Street. Portland will switch the field over to the right. Taken away nicely, and a chance to break on the left side. He's got an overlap runner, and instead he tries to find Hurd cutting through the middle. A good idea, but it was just cut off, and Portland will settle and turn back the other way. Alache onto the outside for Castillo, the defender, very active moving up on that right wing. Taken by Cunningham. Tries to send it ahead off of the defender, and it'll be a throw-in for the Timbers. 47th minute, just underway here in the second half. No score in the opening match of the PDL season between the Gunners and the Timbers under 23s. Long cross handled easily there by Spencer Ritchie. Ritchie, as we mentioned, was invited to the MLS Combine this season and elected instead to return to school. He's been granted a medical red shirt after missing all but a week and a half of last season due to a broken leg suffered in a game on the 10th of September. We're very glad, of course, to see him back in form and wish him the best in his second senior year at the UW. Free kick given to the Gunners, 15 yards inside the Portland half of the field. Taken by Apollon, kind of scuffs the shot a little bit wide, and it'll be a goal kick. Justin Luthi, the new goalkeeper for the Timbers. He's in the yellow kit. The rest of the Timbers in the red and black Rose City outfit, as a foul will be called against the the Puget Sound defender, Michael Dodds, as he went up and over the top of Kenny Cunningham trying to win that ball. So a free kick for the Timbers. as I said, in the red and black kits with the white numbers. The Gunners in the blue kits, white trim, white numbers. Sharp look for them, classic look. As stepping ahead are the Gunners. Find out on the left side, the new man Wright. Settles it down into the area. Shot just up and over the bar. I think it might have been wide too, but a threatening run early on for the Gunners. Certainly showing the willingness to push forward here, which is what you like to see.
So the new guy making a difference right away.
Just into the match, Stephen Wright already making his voice heard. He stepped in for Beau Blanchard, who'd been playing in the central part of the midfield, but very eager to make those kinds of long runs is Wright. An offensive move, perhaps, from Jimmy Ball, though he knows his players, of course, better than we do at this point. We've seen them for all of 49 minutes now as we play in the 50th here at Mount Si High School. No score still, and not a huge number of chances on goal for either side, and steady goalkeeping from both sides. First match of the year in the PDL for both clubs. And it's obviously important to get off to the start you want, as a shot attempt by Rose is blocked off and eventually cleared by the Gunners. That one skips off the netting under the roof and bounces into the stands. A bunch of eager young people happy to chase it down and toss it back to the waiting fourth official, Philippe Dorr. Meanwhile, we'll continue play. Portland in the attacking end, and the ball skitters out of play, and it looks like it'll be a throw-in for the Timbers. The ball went over the touchline, last touched by the Gunners, but on the touchline side of the flag for the throw-in. Get back, get in the box, says Omar Holness. He's going to try and take it long, and a kind of a narrow field here. He does take it long. Stepping back onto his line is Ritchie, but it's headed clear, and Apollon will play it. He can't keep it, though, and Alashe sends it back, and it'll be settled down by by Matt Rose. Back in again. A collision there, and the foul will be given against Portland. Very unhappy with the call as he runs away with the ball is the midfielder Rose. Is it a free kick or is it a throw-in? Chapalo Street says move back 5 yards or so, and it looks like it is a throw-in instead of a foul. So, indeed, the ball just went out of play. Chapalo Street used his whistle. I will admit that confused me. But no foul was given, and the Gunners will try and settle. In for Hammond. Gave it away, now got it back. Cutting it through, and a missed play there by Matt Aronimo, and he sends it out for the Portland throw-in. You can't turn the ball over in this part of the field and expect to not get damaged by it, but nothing so far as Alashe sends it in toward the top of the area, and it's played away nicely by a couple of Gunners, and chasing it down is Apollon. Keeps control nicely. Fighting there with Cross. Cross has a hold on him, and trying to play it ahead was Justice Dirksen, and it was just out of the reach of his teammate Robertson. It's a nice idea down there. And now what have we? Looks like it'll be a Portland throw-in. Chapalo Street was trying to convey something to the Portland players. I'm not sure what it was. Apollon sends it high up in the air. Physical challenge there on the substitute right, but he manages to keep his feet. But the ball is eventually played back away. And once again, the Gunners will try and settle. Puget Sound's done a nice job as Apollon steps through. Arm in his back. Maintains possession. Takes a shot that takes a deflection. And it will be a goal kick. So it looked like last off of the foot of Ash Apollon. That was a nice job by him. The ball was through and a little bit behind him. He held up, managed to maintain possession, looked for an option. When there wasn't one, he got off a pretty strong shot from distance, but just up and outside of the corner of the goal belonging to Justin Luthi. .53rd minute of play here at Mount Si High School. We're still scoreless. Nathan Murphy, honored to be with you here as we remind you that the presenting sponsor of Gunners FC Soccer is Issaquah, Swedish of Issaquah. We thank them for their support. We're very grateful to have them helping us out this year. Teresa Whipple, the executive producer, worked hard to secure that, and we're grateful to all of them for getting us on the air here this afternoon. Of course, all of the home games of the Puget Sound Gunners available on YouTube on the Gunners channel at Puget Sound Gunners FC and through the league channel at USL PDL. Make sure and join us. Bouncing toward the touchline, but kept in play nicely by the midfielder Rose. But given back in a little bit of a chip ball, looking for Wright. Can he run onto it? Not before it's handled by the goalkeeper Luthi. But another slightly dangerous moment for the Gunners as they continue to try and poke forward there in the center and the left of the attacking flank. And they've had some chances, and they will continue to push there, and it's just going to be a matter of if they can break through before Portland's sustained pressure results in a goal. Stepping ahead now with it and trying to corral the long ball was Gainford, but it's played nicely away by the defender Dirksen, and it will be a throw-in for the Timbers on the left-hand side of the attack, deep in Puget Sound territory. We're in the 55th minute here, and still no score, only the one shot on goal officially for either club, and it belongs to Puget Sound. Cross comes in, and it's handled nicely over the head by Robertson. And coming away with it now. This is Hurd. He's got space to run, and he's got Apollon on the right side, gets it to him. Apollon with space. Hurd back in the middle. Apollo turns back in. This is Hurd. Tries to step around, and a shot. It's blocked, tipped up into the air, and handled by Luthi. Easily the most promising attack for the Gunners thus far. And now another chance. This is Dirksen on the left side. Gets a cross in, but it's going to be too far to get to Wright. And it's handled by Luthi. Good pressure here in the last couple of moments from the Gunners. Have Portland a little bit back on their heels, and Luthi will take his time and try and settle his club down. 56th minute of play. And still no score. Headed back carefully to Spencer Ritchie. And he'll roll it right back to Dirksen. Dirksen playing on the left side. I'm sorry, that's Aronimo on the left side. Dirksen here on the right. And Dirksen now steps in to defend. Holness has the ball. Switches field to Castillo. He's been willing to push forward all afternoon long. Sends it into the area, and Aronimo is there. He'll send it high into the air. Well, Pavel will challenge for it. But he surrenders it to Hamer. Into the center. Dangerous moment. A shot by Aguilar is deflected, and it will go out for a corner kick. I believe the 6th of the game for the Timbers. Substitution now coming up. Leaving the game, it looks like, is number 10, Zach Hamer, the former Seawolf, will depart for the afternoon. An effective 55 minutes or so for him, and he'll be replaced by number 12. This is Carlton Belmar from VCU, Virginia Beach, Virginia. And he'll step into the midfield here. And first he will deal with this corner kick. Bounces off a couple of men, but eventually goes out off of, I believe that was last touch by Fitai Alashe, and it will be a goal kick either way for the Gunners. So Hamer's afternoon is done. Carlton Belmar enters the game, the second substitution for the Timbers. Stephen Wright replacing Blanchard is the only one thus far for the Gunners. The Timbers also, of course, changed their goalkeeper with Luthi replacing Moore, and he's been careful, if not particularly challenged, in the early going here. We have played 13 minutes of the second half as they look for Ash Apollon up on the left. Apollon has an overlap, but he's going to cut it back to the center. Now try and go on his own around Will Seymour, and instead he will commit the foul as Seymour goes tumbling down with Apollon on top of him, and it'll be a free kick for Portland. Nathan Murphy with you here. We're at Mount Si High School in Sammamish. Beautiful afternoon here on the east side as the sun is peeking through the clouds now. And it's just a gorgeous day for soccer. Welcome to all of you watching here. We're glad you're with us. No score here.
Up in the mountains you can smell the wood-burning furnaces.
Our engineer says we've got some wood-burning furnaces nearby that he can smell. I will admit that my nose is too allergy affected to smell much of anything this week, but I will take his word for it as we have a collision here, and it looks like another yellow card to the Gunners. This one goes to Bryson Pavel, I believe, as he came clattering in on his mark. I'm not sure who that is over on the far side. It might be the new man, Belmar, but we'll see when he gets to his feet. And no, it looks like it's the same as the last time. This is Fitai Alashe, second time he's been run into. So in the 59th minute of the match, Bryson Pavel will go into the book for that challenge. A reckless one in the opinion of the referee, and I can't say that I argue with him. So 2 yellow cards now, the only discipline of the day for either side. Portland will put it back in play with a free kick about 15 yards inside the Puget Sound half of the field. Every man in blue is behind the ball save one, and that's the attacker Ash Apollon. Free kick is taken into the box, but headed away pretty easily by Pavel. But it's settled down there, nicely taken away, and Apollon has a chance to run again. No help with him. It's 1-on-2. He's going to try. Steps over. Nice stun. He's got some space. Apollon into the area. Toward the goal line. Now he needs to do something with it, and he'll play it off of Matt Rose and out of play for a corner kick. Another nice run by Ash Apollon. It looked like for a moment he had a chance to shoot, but the angle was well covered by the goalkeeper, Justin Luthi, so instead it'll be a corner kick for the Gunners. Justice Dirksen, the defender, stands up over the ball. 7 men in the box. Headed into the goal! It's a goal for the Puget Sound Gunners off of the head of Michael Dodds, and just like that, the Gunners have broken through. It's 1-0 Puget Sound. The corner was absolutely perfect from Justice Dirksen. Dodds got up high, kept it under the crossbar. It went off the hands of the goalkeeper, Luthi, and just slipped in under the crossbar for the first goal of the year for the Gunners. It comes in the 60th minute of the match, 61st minute, pardon me. And it's 1-0 Gunners. That was an absolutely perfectly executed set piece. Jimmy Ball just ecstatic as his club takes the lead. And don't forget, that was earned off of that wonderful run from Ash Apollon to win the corner kick in the first place. Wonderful football, just wonderful from the Gunners, and they have a 1-0 lead. 61st minute, the go-ahead goal off of the head of Michael Dodds. The assist off of the corner kick to the defender, Justice Dirksen. One defender to another to put the Gunners ahead, and they've got another chance here as the ball just slipped behind Mason Robertson. Now he'll play it out onto the left. This is Aronimo, back for Pavel. Aronimo again. Good interplay between the back four here. Looking for Apollon again, but just out of his reach as he lunged to get his head on it. Coming out to get it is Justin Luthi. 1-0. The Gunners out in front off of a wonderfully worked goal from the corner kick. As coming through to take it away is Robertson again. And he can't make it work. Wanting a foul was Jimmy Ball. He's not going to get one. Waves a little dismissively in the direction of the referee, but it will be a Portland throw in. Taken towards Alashe. And it'll be instead a Gunners throw, and that one went out of play. Chested down by Robertson, but stepping through to win it is the new man. I'm sorry, that's, I'm not sure who that is. That's 12 and not 18. That makes a little bit more sense. That is the new man, Carlton Belmar from Virginia Commonwealth. It will be a Portland throw-in on the left side. Aguilar trying to get it to Kenny Cunningham, and instead it will come away. The Seawolves flick it off of Aguilar, and it'll be a throw-in for the Gunners. I apologize. I keep saying Seawolves here. I remember this club from last year in Edmonds. These are the Puget Sound Gunners. And winning the ball for the Gunners is the goal scorer, Michael Dodds. Pavel on the left has an option and tries to get it to him, but it's a little bit behind the substitute, Stephen Wright. And instead it will roll all the way through to the Portland goalkeeper. Luthi will lash it back into the midfield. Pavel skies in the air to win it and hands it to Ballou. Brady Ballou tries to step around Castillo, but it's nicely tackled away by Castillo, and Portland will counter. A flag was up on the far side of the field, and I'm not sure what for. The assistant referee is trying to indicate something, and I'm not sure what's going on here. But coming over now is the referee, Chapalo Street, and what have we? Looks like nothing will come of it. Substitution coming now into the game for Portland will be number 2, Kyle Fisher out of Clemson University. He's from Easley, South Carolina, and he will replace Louis Cross, the defender. We haven't called his name a whole lot, as the Gunners' attack has kind of been largely on the left side of their attack, the right side of the Portland defense. Cross's name not come up a whole lot. We'll see how active Mr. Fisher gets. And now a free kick for the Timbers. Comes toward the near corner of the penalty area, but it's sliced away. Handled there by the newly arrived man, Fisher. Stepping through the midfield with it is Rose. Nice little step through by Will Seymour, and he'll sky it up into the air. We do have a number 18 out there. I'm not certain who that is. He's not on my roster. I'm going to check the game card that was given us and see where the disagreement is here. In any case, Portland settles at the back. Portland, of course, a lot more urgency for them now as they've gone behind, as stepping ahead with it is Belmar. Devin Fisher wearing number 18. He's number 2 on my sheet, but we will figure that out. Oh, I see. I only have one Fisher. Well, we've sorted it out in here. Devin Fisher is number 18. As the ball comes back to Luthi. Quick distribution by the Portland goalkeeper, Rose on the left side. Matt Rose trying to send it long, has a couple of targets there, but Dirksen is there to head it clear, and it will bounce out for a Portland throw-in. Aguilar takes it. No, he doesn't take it. Now he does. Touched by Cunningham. Now back to Aguilar, but stepped through in a physical challenge. And I think this is going to be a caution against the Portland player. It is indeed, as coming flying through and taking out Zach Hammond was the Portland player. And Rose goes into the book. 20 minutes gone here in the second half. That puts us in the 66th minute for that caution on Rose, as he came through and just upended Zach Hammond. Easy call for Chapalo Street. And a substitution for Portland entering the match is Jose Ribas. We mentioned him earlier in the broadcast. Very effective in his role against the Seawolves last summer. And the Gunners will take this free kick now. We're into the 67th minute. 1-0. Puget Sound Gunners have the lead on a goal off of the head of Michael Dodds. Worked nicely. The corner sent in by Justice Dirksen. Earned in the first place by Asha Paulon. Wonderful team play to get it there. And a perfectly finished goal just under the crossbar. And an early lead for the Gunners. And not early in the match, I suppose, early in the season. Remembering last year it took into the third or fourth match before the then Seawolves even had a lead. Taken quickly by Rose and sent back. Handling it is Fisher. Devin Fisher switches the field. Headed forward. Drop down for Castillo, the right back, trying to work in the midfield there, but it's taken away and a chance. Asha Paulon running on the right side again. Can he get there? Working against Fisher. Kyle Fisher can't keep the ball from Asha Paulon. Protecting it at the corner flag, turns back again. Did it go out of play? Yes, it did, says the assistant referee. Good work by Asha Paulon, but not quite good enough to maintain it, as he hadn't really an option at that point but to try and keep it going. Throw in taken for Fisher. Popped up into the air and now won. They've got an option there and it bounces just behind Cunningham. He'll turn back and take it now. And he'll drop it for Castillo. Kenny Cunningham seems to have moved from the left to the right, but he has been present on both sides of the field, as we've said before. They switch it out now for Rose. Matt Rose has a chance to put a long cross in looking for Alashe, and instead it comes off of the foot of Cunningham, but it's easily gobbled up by Spencer Ritchie. Good distribution on the left side for Aronimo into Portland territory. Turns back to the middle and tries to switch the field for Apollon. A little bit too far, but it comes up off of Rose, and Apollon can settle. Stepping through a couple of defenders, turning around now and gives it for Hurd. He's got a man, Dirksen. Dirksen will get a cross up in the air, coming in after it, and it's up and over the bar. Nice cross from Justice Dirksen, but unable to keep the header down was the onrushing Mason Robertson, and instead it will be a goal kick. Another great opportunity for the Gunners, though, as we approach the 70th minute here at Mount Si High School. 1-0 North Sound on the goal off of the head of Michael Dodds. Played into the middle. Alashe with it. Now they'll switch the field again. This is Rose. Watched there by Dirksen. Now Dirksen will fall back as they give it for Fisher once again. Devin Fisher. Looking for Kyle Fisher, and instead it's going to be a long shot and a rebound given up. Alashe's there, and he equalizes. Just like that, we're level at 1 as Fitai Alashe comes in and takes the rebound surrendered by Spencer Ritchie and deposits it in the back of the Puget Sound net. With 20 minutes remaining, we are level at 1. The original shot came in from Omar Holness from distance, and it had a little bit of English on it. And unable to hold the shot was Spencer Ritchie. And surprising everybody with the run was Alashe. He got around the back line of the defense because I don't think the defenders saw him coming. And he took that rebound and slotted it past Spencer Ritchie in the 70th minute. So we're level at 1 now. And we're back where we started. Headed back for Luthi. The goal goes to Alashe in the 70th minute. The assist to Omar Holness on the Portland goal. Holness with it now. Slices it through. This is Kyle Fisher. Taken away nicely by Josh Hurd. And he'll look out onto the right for Dirksen, and instead we're going to go with a foul back behind the center circle. Not a whole lot of whistles needing to be blown so far this afternoon. Pretty straightforward. 3 cautions, all for firm challenges. 2 against the Gunners and 1 against Portland. That one was assessed to Rose back in the 66th. Portland now back to taking their time. I think they'd be perfectly happy with a draw here this afternoon. Obviously, the Gunners have different ideas, and they'll put some numbers forward. This is Robertson. Turns with it. Looks for Hammond. A little flick forward looking for Apollon, but can't get it there. And it'll go all the way back. Carlton Belmar working hard, harassing the back line of the Gunners. And it's sent away now for Devin Fisher. Rose back into the middle for Holness, and he'll send it long, looking for Cunningham. Cunningham crosses off the crossbar, and eventually handled by Spencer Ritchie. The cross off of the foot of Kenny Cunningham found the head of the guy who's already got a goal in Fitai Alashe, and his header went right off the goalpost. And then it bounced off of another player and into the arms of Spencer Ritchie. Very lucky for the Gunners there not to have gone down 2-1 in the space of 5 minutes. Now Ash Apollon has a chance on the left side. Apollon gets around one man into the corner of the area. Drops it off for the shot. Well saved. Another dangerous moment. Brady Ballou with that shot. He did a nice job to keep it low, but it was covered perfectly by Justin Luthi. We are in the 74th minute here at Mount Si High School Stadium. 1-1 the score. Your goal scorers in the 61st minute, that's Michael Dodds. the header off of the corner kick by Justice Dirksen. And then just a moment ago in the 70th, equalized by Fitai Alashe, who gobbled up a rebound left by Spencer Ritchie. That's a foul, and that's going to be, oh my goodness, we've got a confrontation here between the goal scorer Dodd, who goes into the book, and the man he fouled, and that was Belmar. What's going on down there? The little bit more pushing and shoving, and this time Fitai Alashe is in the middle of it. We'll see if there will be additional discipline given out by our referee, Chipolo Street. As of right now, it appears that there will not be. The officials, the assistant referees drifting onto the field here to help maintain order. But it seems that things have settled down, and they will back out. So Michael Dodds will go into the book for the tactical foul, or the firm challenge anyway. This is in the 75th minute of the match, his caution. That's the third of the game for the Gunners. Now Chipolo Street will set the wall. The free kick is probably about 25 yards from goal, about 5 yards outside the corner of the 18-yard box. And Spencer Ritchie will set the two-man wall. Jose Ribas standing over the free kick, so is Matt Rose. And it'll be Rose, it'll be Ribas. The shot over the bar. That was pretty well placed, looking for the upper 90 on the near side, but it sailed only a yard or two over the top. That's a pretty good strike from 25 yards, but in the end, no harm done as we play here in the 75th minute. 1-1 is the score. Goals from Dodds for Puget Sound and from Alashe for Portland. Those goals only coming about 10 minutes apart in the second half. Stepping up with it is Devin Fisher. Works his way through, gives for Cunningham. Skitters away, and it'll be taken by the Gunners. Nice little step over, and has a man running. It's Wright. The ball's just out of his reach, and a miscommunication. Wright trying to get to the goal line. Is it a penalty? No, says the referee. Shouldered down by the goalkeeper, Luthi, was the man Wright, who was trying to get to the ball. And the assistant referee's flag is in the air, and we're going to have a conversation. I think this might be a penalty. The near side assistant is Jason Hutchinson. He's telling Chipolo Street what he saw. And let's see what we're going to have here. No wireless headsets for these guys, so they have to come over and talk on the near side. And we have to wait and see what the decision will be. Chipolo Street walks into the penalty. It'll be a corner kick. Jimmy Ball very upset, waving his finger at the fourth official, saying that's not right. From our angle, it looked like there might have been a little shove by Luthi, but is it enough for a penalty when the ball's not there? I don't know. And in any case, it is a corner kick for the Gunners. We're in the 78th minute. The corner taken to the near side. Nice little flick by Hammond to try and keep it alive after it skipped off of Dodds. But nothing doing, and chasing it down is Matt Aronimo. Throw in for the Gunners. Dangerous time there for Portland. But so far they've come out of it unscathed. The penalty shout again, the second one of the game by the Gunners. But Chipolo Street waves it away and waves his assistant away as well. Or at least his flag in that case, not the man himself, I'm sure. Another throw in for the Gunners, this time 15 or 20 yards into the Portland half. Portland players barking a little bit about the location of the throw-in, but it's taken into the corner of the penalty area and headed away. Alashe flicks it on, now chasing it is Cunningham, but Pavel keeps possession, and he's shoved to the turf. The snarl factor in this game is going up a little bit as we approach 10 minutes remaining. The free kick is taken quickly, looking for Wright, but it's going to go past everybody and skip out of play. Fans will take this opportunity to remind you that Puget Sound Gunners FC Soccer is presented by Swedish of Issaquah. We appreciate their support, of course. It's also sponsored by Proliant Surgeons and Proliant Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, and by My Spine Sports Chiropractic. Thanks to all of our sponsors for their support. We appreciate them making these broadcasts possible. We're honored to be with you here today. Nathan Murphy from Mount Si High School, where the Gunners and the Timbers are playing an increasingly physical, intense affair, tied at 1 with just over 12 minutes remaining in the 90. Stepping ahead with it is Ash Apollon, but he can't keep control. And we'll take this chance to remind you that the USL Premier Development League has scores, statistics, news, and more exclusively on their website. That's uslpdl.com. Or you can visit them on Facebook. Check out the USL PDL fan page at facebook.com/USLPDL. Portland will settle and allow it to be played by the goalkeeper, Justin Luthi. 89th minute of play now. Portland and Puget Sound level at 1. An entertaining match, particularly here in the second half, has started to escalate a little bit on the physical side as the teams have gotten frustrated. Puget Sound felt they should have been awarded a penalty as Luther got into the back with a shoulder of the recent substitute Stephen Wright as he tried to chase a ball down toward the goal line. And just a little bit of chippiness as Todd is noting here as we enter the 90th minute of play. Just over 10 minutes remaining as we'll have another substitute. Into the match for Puget Sound is Justin Amundsen, former Crossfire player. He'll replace Josh Hurd, who is very effective for portions of this game in the midfield. So Hurd's afternoon is through, and Amundsen has 11 minutes and change. One more substitution. Into the game is Esteban Ochoa, and we're trying to see who he replaced. This is Brady Ballou. Nice effort from him as well. Had a handful of dangerous runs, so Ballou will have a seat. And we'll get our first look at the Barry University product. Esteban Ochoa, 6-foot sophomore. As Apollon will play it back. And Dodds will try and play it forward. Michael Dodds turns it over. Slashed away by Hammond. Nicely done by him. And looking up for Wright, but just a little bit to his left. And he'll chase down, try to keep it in play, and does so nicely. But unfortunately, just to the feet of the Portland defender, and so doesn't save him much, if anything. Fighting for the ball in the midfield, coming through to take it is Robertson. And he does, but it just goes through to the goalkeeper, Luthi. Portland more than happy to take their time here in the 81st minute. The ball's knocked high into the air by Dodds, the goal scorer. Coming through to clear out is Robertson. Dodds chases it down again, can't win the ball from Belmar, and it'll go out, but it will be a Gunners throw in. Just over 9 minutes left here. Handball there, maybe? No, says the referee. Ribas got his arm on it, certainly, but it was not enough to qualify as deliberate, says Chapalo Street. And a throw into the Timbers. Taking his first touch is Amundsen. And now a chance for Alache. Alache watched by Dodds. Well defended by Dodds. And last, corner kick, says the referee. It sure looked like Dodds put it back off the foot of Alache. Jimmy Ball yelling approximately the same thing from the bench on the near side here. But it will be a Portland corner. Their 7th or 8th of the match to this point. 8.5 minutes left in the 90. We'll take this chance, fans, to remind you to follow at USLPDL on Twitter for all the latest updates, and check out at Nike Soccer. They're a proud sponsor of the W League and all of the leagues of the USL. We thank Nike for their support of the Premier Development League. Corner comes in and is headed toward the goal, but kind of takes a skittering bounce, and it'll come back to the corner taker, Rose. A foul given against Puget Sound. Frustrated with the call is the Gunners' defense, but it will be a free kick for Portland, about 5 yards wide of the corner of the 18 on the near side. Under 8 minutes left here. 1-1 is your score. The goals coming less than 10 minutes apart, in the 61st for Puget Sound and the 70th minute for Portland. Tense times for both sides here. Portland, of course, more likely to be happy with the draw. Maybe the Gunners will push a little bit. Remains to be seen. They've had some chances here in the last 5 or 6 minutes, but nothing has come of them. Rose standing over the free kick, so is Ribas. Check that, and that's Castillo, the defender, all the way over from his right side, and the cross is toward goal. That was a shot. and it would have tucked inside the near post, but it's handled very well by Spencer Ritchie, who leaned to his right and caught cleanly. No rebound given. Distribution. Wright looking to cross. Tried to get it to Apollon, and it bounced off of Castillo, sprinting back from having taken that free kick. And it will be a Gunners throw-in. Looking for an option. Couple of check runs. They'll give to Apollon, who will try to switch the field, and he may have lost it. Instead, stepping up is Dodds. He'll keep it in play. Dodds, nice run down the side now. Keeps it in on the touchline. Back for Justice Dirksen. Nice cross from Dirksen. Pops it up in the air. Standing there is Wright. He went down. Nothing there, says the referee. And it will be a corner kick. That's the third time that the Gunners have felt that they should have been awarded a penalty. And each time Chapalo Street has said no. He's obviously closer than we are. I didn't have a particularly good look at that collision. But Mr. Street says nothing doing there, and it's a corner kick as we approach 6 minutes remaining, the 95th minute, excuse me, the 85th minute here at Mount Si High School. We're glad to have all of you with us. Nathan Murphy here in a 1-1 game. The corner is taken, and going up to handle it is Luthi. Very well done. Sure hands, but a dangerous play nonetheless. Rolling distribution, but turning the ball over is the defender Holness. Chipped back into the middle, and a turnover this time by the Gunners, and having a chance to run is Belmar. Dirksen comes back and plays it out. Good defending by Justice Dirksen. Throw in. Dirksen fighting again. Nice touch to turn it around, and he'll be able to clear. He's looking for Wright. Wright thought he got hit in the back. He's frustrated right now, and he'll chase down. And lucky not to get called himself there. Through ball for Apollon. Manages to keep it. He's got a man right. Gives it to him. Right a shot. Right at Luthi. That's the best chance they're likely to get with 5 minutes remaining. And Wright put it right at the goalkeeper. Nothing doing there. A Timbers throw in. Castillo on the right side. Under 5 minutes left. We're in the 86th minute. A foul given against the Gunners, and Portland will have a free kick. Fans, the PDL is on YouTube this season. As you know, since you're watching us there, YouTube is the league's official video home, offering live games, highlights, feature content, and more. Subscribe for free to the USL's PDL's YouTube channel today. And, of course, check out all of the Puget Sound Gunners home games, the rest of the other 6 of them from Issaquah High School. They'll all be on our channel as well at Puget Sound Gunners FC. The clearance is chopped away out over the touchline. Make sure and share the link, folks. Share the channel that you're watching this on. We'd love to have more folks watching these broadcasts, and we're honored to be with you today. Nathan Murphy, Todd Elvig is our producer. Teresa Whipple is the executive producer, and Keith Neely will be back with us next time around. A corner kick surrendered now as we play in the 87th, under 4 minutes to go. And both teams have survived some opportunities in the last 15 minutes or so since the equalizer. There were moments when it looked like Portland would take the lead again. The header off the crossbar by Alashe, and then the chance just now for Wright and Apollon. Corner is a little bit high, and it skips off of a Portland defender. I'm sorry, a Gunners defender, and it will be a Portland throw-in. There we go. As we approach minute number 88, 3 minutes to go. Omar Holness will take it long again. As we mentioned, this is a narrow field, a high school field. And this is headed away cleanly by Dodds, but not too far. This shot is blocked again by Dodds. Good work by the central defender. Rose touches it out for Holness. He'll try and cross, and it's calmly defended away. Nicely done by the back line of the Gunners. Another throw-in now. 2.5 minutes left. A nice throw by the replaced goalkeeper, Brendan Moore, to send the spare football down to be played. Holness takes it long again. It takes a bounce in the area, and now it's sent away and lifted away into the air. Calm defending again by Robertson. And a foul given as Apollon was taken into pretty hard, I would say, by Kyle Fisher. No more, says Chapalo Street. Gunners thought that should have been a caution, but none is forthcoming. 4 yellow cards have been given in this match. 1 against Portland. That went to Matt Rose in the 66th minute for a clattering challenge on Zach Hammond. The other 3 all against Gunners personnel. Mason Robertson, Bryson Pavel, Justice Dirksen, all in the, Michael Dodds, all in the book and all still on the field. Both teams with substitutions remaining should they choose to use them, but Portland's only remaining substitute appears not to be standing, and Puget Sound doesn't look to be using theirs either. Just over a minute remaining in the 90. 1-1 still your score, and a chance to break now. Apollon making a run. Looking to play him as Ochoa, and he does. Is he onside? Yes, he is. The cross comes back. Looking for Robertson and goes through everybody. Justice Dirksen tries to chase it down, and instead it will be lashed out of play. Good backstopping by the 4th official to get the ball ready to go. Justice Dirksen looking to take it long. No indication yet on added time here. A couple, 2, 3, 4 minutes would be expected after goals and substitutions. Stepping around nicely with it is Amundsen, but he can't keep it, and he gives it up to Rebos. And now he clatters into Rebos from behind. Pretty easy foul call. Just 20 seconds remaining in the 90. And what have we? Looks like the referee just told the 4th official, and we're looking for the indication. The kick taken long and played back for Rebos. Rebos is run into. This is going to be another foul and at least a talking to for Robertson. Is it going to be a yellow card? It does not appear so. Coming over to tell Jimmy Ball the time remaining. And he did not choose the 4th official to indicate how many minutes in a manner that we could see. So we'll be guessing at this point. We'll let you know how much has gone by, but we won't necessarily know when the referee expects it to be over. And now a foul given against Portland in the penalty area. And it will be a free kick to the Gunners. 3 or 4 minutes would be my guess, but it's hard to know for sure. As stepping up to enter the match now for the Gunners is Max Smith from Juneau, Alaska, the Walla Walla College product. He'll enter at the next stoppage, presumably. As knocking it down are the Timbers. Fisher, Rebos. Switches the field for Castillo. Portland would sure love a winner here, but you could say the same for both sides. Stepping through his right, wins the ball from Holness, but he can't keep it. Castillo again. Now Fisher and Cunningham. Looks into the middle, but it's cut off, and it'll be taken by the Gunners, but they pop it up into the air. Stepping ahead is Apollon. Taken down, and this has to be a tactical foul, and it is. And a yellow card is given here in the 92nd minute. I can't see the number. A definite tactical foul. It looks like this is Devon Fisher, cautioned in the 91st. We've played just shy of a minute and a half of the extra time, so that would make it the 92nd. I apologize. And now the substitution will take place. As I mentioned, entering the game is Max Smith. And he will replace a good, solid 90-minute effort from Mason Robertson. Good effort from him, and not a whole lot turns with it. Steps over, and now forward. He's got Dodds. He'll step toward the end line, looking to cross, and instead it will go out for a throw-in. 2 minutes have gone by in the added time. Dodds takes it long, looking for right in the middle, can't get it to him. Headed clear. Now looking back. Be the last action of the match. The whistle has blown. The final score, the Portland Timbers won, and the Puget Sound Gunners won. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back to wrap it up. You're watching Puget Sound Gunners FC Soccer on YouTube and the Premier Development League. A 1-1 draw here at Mount Si High School. Nathan Murphy here to wrap things up for you. A slightly disappointing result, you might say, for the Gunners. But at the same time, they turned out a very polished effort today with a lot of chances on goal. And a couple of spots to take the lead back after they had given it up. And for the most part, very good defending. Just the one bobble by the goalkeeper, Spencer Ritchie. We'll go through the events here in a minute, but first we'd like to remind you that Puget Sound Gunners FC Soccer is presented by Swedish Avisaqua, also sponsored by Proliance Surgeons and Proliance Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, and by My Spine Sports Chiropractic. We thank all of them for their support of Puget Sound Gunners FC Soccer on YouTube through the Premier Development League. Thanks all of you for joining us. I'm Nathan Murphy. It was a pleasure to bring you this one this afternoon, and it was not short of entertainment. A scoreless first half featured a lot of calculating play by the Portland Timbers and some chances for the Gunners as they had a few opportunities on some through balls and some counterattacks. Portland played very composed through that half, but toward the end it started to look as though Puget Sound had a chance to break through. The only recordable event in that half was a caution given to Mason Robertson for a firm challenge in the 24th minute. After the halftime break, things got more busy very quickly. In the 59th minute, Bryson Pavel from Boise High School went into the book for the Gunners. Got up on top of it, got his head on it. The goalkeeper, Luthi, got a paw on it, but was not able to keep it from slipping under the crossbar. And so first blood went to the Puget Sound Gunners in the 61st minute. But it was less than 10 minutes later after a caution went to Matt Rowe. He did well to get his hands on the spinning shot, but was unable to hold it. And Alashe, who was dangerous all afternoon, Fitai Alashe, managed to slip through and get a foot on the ball that had been let loose to equalize in the 70th minute. Portland had a couple of other opportunities, including another header by Alashe, who put it off the crossbar and eventually into the hands of a very relieved Spencer Ritchie only 6 or 7 minutes later. One more caution was given to the Timbers. This went to Devin Fisher in the 92nd minute, and one additional caution as well for the Gunners to the goal scorer, Michael Dodds, in the 75th. All cautions were for hard or tactical fouls. No red cards today and no injuries of which we're aware. Puget Sound had 3 corner kicks. One of those led directly to the goal. I believe Portland had 8, but we'll get the official statistics on the website as soon as they are compiled. USL PDL, the Premier Development League, is your official source for statistics, highlights, and other information related to the Premier Development League.